Hey, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Nighttime Benders, powered by The Source. We have something special for you guys. We have been sitting down with so many amazing comedians that we're going to start dropping these bonus interviews in between our weekly episodes so you can get to know some of these comedians a little bit more. This week, we have Jefferson McDonald, which, if you don't know who he is, go look up his stuff right now. He is not only a talented actor, musician, of course, stand-up comedian, but he also was a very good hang. I hope you guys enjoy getting to know Jefferson as much as I did. Well, welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to have you here today. If you could introduce yourself for people that might not be familiar with you and your work.
Hello, I'm Jefferson McDonald. I'm a comedian, actor, writer, and musician. I live in Los Angeles, originally from Romulus, New York.
Romulus, New York. So you're originally an East Coast person. You're now living in the West Coast.
That's right.
What do you think the difference between the two coasts are?
Winters are easier here. A lot of fires over here. Los Angeles, there's no comparing here to where I grew up. Romulus, New York, it's just a very small town. It's an agricultural community. There's not a lot going on. We used to have an arcade that burnt down. We used to have a gas station, and then they just stopped pumping gas. So very small, just Amish neighbors, Mennonites. So, you're really out there in the sticks in Romulus, New York. So I was always grateful. If I was in a town that had a gas station, I got excited. So Los Angeles is pretty crazy. But before I came here, I lived in New York City for about 10 years. I love that city. I'm pretty happy here in Los Angeles. It's nice. It's warm. And I'm applying the sunscreen. But there is a difference. But I don't know. New York, Los Angeles, they're pretty international cities.
Yeah, I don't know if you felt it. So I've lived in both as well. And I felt that the sharper edges of my personality came out on the East Coast. Like I was definitely a more angry version of myself on the East Coast. And in LA, I was like more chill about everything.
Well, I drove in New York City and drive here, so I'm just angry and screaming all the time. I don't know if there's a chill version of myself. I guess that would be out somewhere where there's no people and there's a lake and people couldn't hear me screaming. But so you have some anger issues as well? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes. I try to pretend like I'm nice. It's, part of being a girl in America and staying safe. But I'm secretly, I have anger issues. Yeah. Just like everybody else. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So I was digging around on your social media as I do when I'm going to be talking with people, and you are an incredibly trained actor. You went to some of the top acting programs in the world. You went to the Oslo Conservatory and the Moscow Art Theater. How do you think that classical training supports the work that you do as a stand-up? Unless it doesn't.
I think it certainly does. I think having any kind of stage experience and working in a lot of, there definitely is a line between comedic and dramatic actors. But then there's some that can do both. I always kind of went into that comedic category. But I wanted to beefen up my ability to do drama. So I thought I was already classically trained in music. So I thought, where can I get some of the most intense Shakespeare and Chekhov training in the world? So I went to those places and explored that for some time. And I would have to think that at least informs my presence on stage and some other things. But it's hard to say because stand-up is so very different from acting because you're creating something in a different way than you do when you're just doing a play. But I had a lot of fun, spent a lot of money on a bunch of different schools. So yeah, that was great.
Well, it definitely shows in your work that you have a lot of presence. Can I ask what your comedy origin story is? When did you first get up and start doing stand-up at the mic?
Really strict stand-up. I didn't start doing until about 3 years ago with my fiance, on the road with her. My fiance is Steph Tolev, and she's obviously an insanely talented stand-up comedian. So prior to that, I had been doing the rock and roll show, and I was doing monologues in between and like weaving things together. But if anything bombed, I could always just go back and do a song, so the stakes weren't as high as I always had something to fall back on. Because when you're doing stand up and you don't have a little gimmick that you can do between, you better be confident in your material. And I didn't have that confidence until I started, you know, putting in a lot of time doing stand up. You just have to do it and write it and get very comfortable. I mean, the first time I went up on stage, it was comedy at Carlson and I couldn't find the light. I must have blown the time by 5 minutes. And I don't know that Steph was not so happy. And I just remember being on stage being like, I must be done. And I kept being like, oh, anyways, it's okay. I got some stories, but I was like the anyways set. It was pretty brutal, but you definitely have to die up there a few times before things are going to start clicking.
Yeah, there's no shortcut to live entertainment, unfortunately, and becoming good at it. I did look at some of the
Totally.
clips of your music show. That seems really fun. Can you tell people a little bit? Is it called Great Balls? Is that what it's called? Or something?
Great balls of fire. Yeah.
Okay,
Or
I
you
was like,
can you
I
can
was
just shorten it
close.
to great balls. Yeah.
Great Balls,
Um,
yeah.
Well, I did a show called Million Dollar Quartet about 14 times. I played Jerry Lee Lewis. And so people really loved that production and they wanted more of the music. So during the pandemic, I came out with an album and we started performing all over the place when there wasn't much to do. And that sort of turned into a breadwinning opportunity for me and the band. So we went out and I just thought of a name. I had a bunch of different names. My agents liked that one, Jefferson McDonald's Great Balls of Fire. So we do a lot of 50s music and we just try to get people going crazy and they do. It's pretty wild. And a lot of our audiences are older because they grew up during that time and they love Elvis, they love Johnny Cash. And you'll see these 60, 70-year-olds out there doing splits. It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, I can't believe the effect that this music has on people. It's almost too much. I tell some of them to sit down sometimes. We'll get people standing. They haven't danced in 30 years
Yeah.
and they get this new power and it comes over them. And it's concerning because I don't want anyone to get hurt, but
Well, you know what? If that's the
um,
way you go out, that's a good way to go. We all gotta go some way.
we do. We do. Let's talk about death. That's a
Let's
good
talk.
segue.
Yeah, right. That's always a funny topic. So you do a lot of different kinds of performing. What do you think's the weirdest job you've ever had as a performer?
Oh, as a performer. Okay, that's a good question. The weirdest job. I've had some lousy ones, but let me think of some weird ones. Um, let's see. I did a little burlesque back in the day. That didn't hold up. Um, let's see. Weird. Performed in some weird places. Uh, weirdest performing job.
I mean, I guess if you have a weird regular job, I would take that.
Oh, like growing up gutting chickens on the farm. That was pretty. That was pretty. Yeah,
Ooh.
I feel like yeah, we grew up on a really large farm, and I really didn't like farming, but I was in charge of 12,000 chickens, and I was in charge of marketing them, gutting them. I was probably 14 years old, and it was just miserable because I was kind of Howard Hughes. I hated germs, so there I was with my hand
No.
inside these chickens, eviscerating them, and I was so miserable. I thought I have to find something else to do. So I've really tried to avoid the weird jobs, I guess, now that I think it's when you are an artist, though, you're performing in all sorts of strange places. I've been Shakespeare for high schoolers and children, and you find yourself in some odd venues. I'm sure something awful will come to me. I think I must have blacked it out.
That's okay. It's good to black out trauma. It's your brain's protective mechanism. We don't need to dig it up. It's fine. But
Okay.
you mentioned that you
Thank,
recently got engaged. Congratulations. That is
thank you.
incredibly exciting. How are you doing? Do you like being, are you becoming a groomzilla or are you just the chill engaged person?
I would say I'm pretty chill. I'm not really sure what a groomzilla is, so hopefully that's not me. Um, is that one who takes over the planning for the wedding? Like what is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I mean, like some people, some men, it's all about them. That is a thing. It becomes a thing. Yeah, yeah.
No, once I gave her the ring, I said, "You're in charge now. I'm done."
Fantastic. Oh,
I
good
know. Although
man.
I, although I did help, this whole thing kind of started when I showed her a wedding venue that I liked, and my whole family worked at. So I just thought, if we get a nice venue, and if you want to get married, we could do that. And so I have some input. I think I'll have some input with the music since I have
Mm.
some buddies who play. So there's a couple things I'll chime in here on, but otherwise, what really do I have to do? I just have to show up, get my family there. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff, right? I'll get a tux, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I missing something?
Yeah, just like polish up and be pretty. That's a very important part of the day.
That'll be a challenge. So yeah, but we'll get
Polish it up.
someone to do something. We'll get, yeah. I actually Photoshop. They could just make the pictures look good. That's all that you really need is some decent pictures, right?
Yes,
Good
exactly.
memories.
That makes the day feel magical when you look back on it. Exactly, exactly. Um, so you travel with your partner, right? When you tour, how is that being able to travel, tour, and work all with the person that you do everything else with?
It can be very nice. It can also be challenging because you're working with somebody you love, and then
Yeah.
but it's a lot of times most of the challenges are just if we're stuck at an airport and we're grumpy and start wanting to strangle each other. But otherwise, it's really cool because we that's when we get to see each other. So I really try to make it a priority to, she can't. I'm trying to teach her drums. I got her a drum set, so she can't really tour on my show yet. We're getting her there. If she could just learn a couple of things, a couple
Oh
of
my
rockabilly riffs.
God.
But I love it. Her tour is awesome. Her crowds are awesome. So it's a lot of fun to perform on her shows, open the shows, and sell some merch afterwards. And we have a lot of fun. And I'm pretty good at running the camera now.
There you
So
go. You got,
so I've
I
got
know,
that.
that's great. I bring my husband when I tour as well. He's not a performer, he just has a remote job, but I joke that he's the best cameraman in the world, you know? Um, and he also doesn't get distracted by any of the jokes because he's heard them 1,000 times. Um,
There you go.
yeah. So you are coming to Bend, and normally I warn city people about the country, but it sounds like you're very aware of what the middle of nowhere is like. Have you ever been to Central Oregon before?
Well, I've been to Eugene. There's a club out in Eugene. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
it's
that's kind
different.
of the
We're different.
city, right?
We are different. So we are technically a high desert. We have mountains, we have rivers, we have high altitude lakes. It's an outdoor person's paradise, but we are not a very large community. There's less than, I think, 150,000 people in the whole Central Oregon area.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah. So
running
you,
into your neighbors up there.
yeah, so you'll be a big deal when you come here, is what I'm saying. You know, the smaller the town, the bigger the deal you are.
Oh, I doubt that, but yeah, that would be nice. What's the bug situation? People getting bit up there?
No, well, it depends where you are. So, my house doesn't have water by it. We're by a cute little town called Sisters. But if you're near lakes, yeah, we got mosquitoes just like everybody else. But the rivers are nice. If you like to, do you know how to swim? I should ask that first. Do you know how to swim?
I do know how to swim. Yeah, yeah, that's one
But
thing
you,
I can
but,
do.
but do you not like to swim? I feel like that answer was like, but I don't like to swim.
I don't know. I just look in, and depends on how murky the water is, I guess. And
Okay.
if other
Well,
people are swimming, I don't wake up every day like I can't wait to swim today. I'm more of I usually take a glance and I'm like, there's some water over there. People they're taking leaks in the water. I don't know what's going on in there. So, um, but I'll get into a body of water on occasion. I do like to ski, and I like to ski straight off the dock, and then I try to get back on the dock so I don't actually enter the water. Have you ever heard of that technique?
no,
Yeah.
that's how much you're like, actually, I'd rather not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't need to get wet all the time. I don't know
I get it.
yeah, we got some algae in our water in upstate New York. That can
Ooh.
I can give you some allergies. So,
Yeah. Okay.
uh,
So maybe I won't recommend floating for you. What do you like to do when you travel? What's your favorite kind of tourist thing to do?
Eat and drink.
What would you
I'm
leave off
usually
of
the
that?
guy drinking and yelling at people in the water. But I am trying to drink less, so I should pick up another hobby while in Bend. But you have that nice Pinot Noir. When I was in Eugene, I drank so much Pinot Noir. I think part of me died.
Yeah, we're really more of a beer town here in Bend. We have some great breweries. So, and
It's me.
some nice low
Uh,
alcohol, 2, 3, 4% beers. We can keep you going all night
no,
here.
you know. What are we in Australia watching a footy match? No, 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 no. Come on. Um, okay, that sounds good. I can drink a beer or two.
Perfect.
There we go. All right.
Perfect. You'll come
Um,
to town, you'll tell comedy, you'll drink beer, you'll have a good time.
that sounds good. And we're close to this body of water. People are floating.
Yes,
Floating, I don't mind.
yes.
Floating's
The,
fine.
the theater is only like 2 blocks from the river. Honestly, the theater you're performing at, the Tower Theater, is a gorgeous vintage theater. You're gonna be so blown away. It's like an old vaudeville theater.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, makes you feel fancy. Yeah,
I
the
love
center
a
of it's
music
great.
hall.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
downtown Bend is beautiful. If you have a couple days on either side of the festival to enjoy yourself, I encourage you to. We're a resort town for a reason. It's fantastic here. It's beautiful. So, yeah.
Get up there a little early because I think the weekend before I am in Eugene with Steph. So I might just stay up there. And I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll be camping there before this all starts. I don't know. Maybe I'll be sleeping in the back of this music hall. I'm not really sure
Are you a
what my
camper?
plan is.
Do you like to
I
camp?
don't like camping either. No, no, I don't like. I got to tell you, I grew up on this farm and my windows were broken, so there was snow inside my room as a child. It wasn't like it was kind of like camping anyway when I was a kid. And when we'd go camping, we'd always rough it. So we would take out like a cot, put it on the ground, and it we would just get destroyed by mosquitoes. And we would try to forage. We wouldn't bring food, so we would try to hunt and forage for our own food, and we never caught anything, so we were always hungry. It was really miserable. So that kind of cured me of the camping bug. I'm not.
Yeah.
But you know what? I could be. We're not, are we camping? Is that what's
Yeah.
happening? Are we sleeping in tents for this?
Nobody's told me that, but I'm also not involved in the planning of the festival. So if you find out you're in a tent, let me know. I have an RV we can throw you in. It RVs are lovely. I don't know. I think you're doing camping wrong. You need to get in an RV. Um,
Oh
like
yeah,
preferably one with
that's
like,
different.
yeah, like with wood paneling and a bathroom and a shower and we have two TVs. It's really nice. Yeah.
Well, that's different. That's nice. That's acceptable.
That's
Okay,
acceptable.
that's
That you
different.
can handle. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, if people want to catch up with you before your show here in Bend, where's a good place to find you online?
I would say my Instagram or Facebook are good. You can find my Instagram. It's my handle's Jefferson McDonald for the what is that, a number? The number
Number
for
4.
real. Jefferson McDonald for real. Or my Facebook. I'm just always posting dates and where I'm going to be and where I'm either doing music or if I'm doing some comedy with Steph or if I'm on a cruise because I'm still doing cruises all over the place. So, if people want to get really loaded on a ship, I love the water. See, I'm on the water all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, see, you do
I'm
love the
always out
water.
there.
That's
I love
exactly
the
it.
water.
You love the water.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
seafaring man. So that's where they can find me, and they can come out and on a ship or come out to a theater. I don't know. There's all sorts of things we're doing. So we're doing Christmas shows this winter in the South and Southeast. So I don't know. There's a little of this, little of that. If they want some advice on how to raise poultry, just DM me. I will let you know.
You know what? I don't, that's information that I'm like, that's for you to know. I'm glad I don't know it, right?
Well, sustainable agriculture is really growing in this country. These are good things to know. If you raise your own food, then that's really the only way you know what's going in its mouth and if it's healthy. So, you know,
Oh
maybe
gosh,
I'll have to,
I can't
maybe
follow
I'll
my
bring you a
food.
little baby lamb or something to raise some pigs. What do you think? What do you
Oh,
want?
no.
They're cute when they're babies.
Yeah, but then they grow and then you have to kill them and that's the part of farming I can't do. Like it's the part of 4-H I could have never completed.
no, you get someone else to do the killing. You don't need to do that. That's too
Oh,
much.
yeah, I'm not really of the killing class. Um,
But
is
this
there
is how we make people into vegans. This
Yeah,
is,
exactly. Is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners that we haven't touched base on?
I don't know. Just come to the shows. Come get your tickets now, folks, and we'll talk about it in Bend, in the
Fantastic.
water, on a floaty.
On a floaty. All right, we'll see you there.
Oh,
That was Jefferson McDonald. I hope you enjoyed his interview. I truly enjoyed my time talking with him. And I know his show that's coming to Bend is going to be hilarious. So be sure to check out his social media for where you can catch him when he is in town. I just want to say thank you guys again for listening to this week's episode of Nighttime Vendors. We will be coming back with more of Central Oregon's favorite funny faces. In the meantime, please follow us where you follow us, listen where you listen, like where you like. All those little buttons you press really do help us. We are a new podcast, and growing, sharing, telling your friends about it really, really does help. So thank you everybody that has made this first set of shows so amazing, and we can't wait to keep bringing you more of our favorite people in Central Oregon. Till next time.